the spare change revolution. Our journey begins with a habit the world often dismisses as childish: the spare change revolution. Wealth creation doesn't start when your vault is full. It begins the moment you recognize the value of the smallest unit of currency, the single cent. The first and most revolutionary habit of micro-investing is invisibly automating the remnants of your daily spending. Think about it. When you buy a coffee and your remaining 50 cents are automatically funneled into an index fund, on the surface it seems insignificant. However, inside your brain, a profound shift is occurring. It is reprogramming your dopamine reward system. Normally, our brains feel a rush of pleasure from spending money, but this habit trains you to find true satisfaction in watching that money grow. You aren't just saving pennies. You are teaching your subconscious that no amount is too small to be ignored. This is the psychological shift that moves you from the consumer's seat to the owner's chair. The rule of compounding. Saving money is merely the beginning. The real magic happens when you start to feel the rule of compounding in your veins. Those who build generational wealth know that time is a far more powerful weapon than the initial amount invested. They view get-rich-quick schemes as poison. Their micro habit is simple: planting at least 10% of their income every month in a place where it can multiply, and then treating it as sacred, never to be touched. This habit doesn't just increase your bank balance, it fundamentally eliminates the anxiety you feel toward your future. When you see on your screen that your money is working for you even while you sleep or vacation with your family, your cortisol levels begin to drop. You reach a state of mental peace where decisions are made through strategy rather than fear. Compounding isn't just interest, it is your victory over time, the invisible tax shield. Building wealth is a war, and in this war, taxes are the silent enemy that slowly eats away at the harvest of your hard work. Wealth builders understand that it's not about how much you make, but how much you keep after everything is settled. The third essential micro habit is viewing every financial decision through the lens of tax efficiency. Whether it's a Roth IRA, a 401k, or a tax-free health savings account, HSA, they utilize every legal avenue to ensure the government doesn't take a bite out of their legacy. This habit creates a wealth guardian within you. When you protect your investments through strategic tax planning, you are ensuring the inheritance you leave behind is net, not gross. A small tax decision made today can mean $1 million difference 30 years from now. This isn't just about saving, it's about respecting your own labor. Knowledge equity. Wealth isn't just stored in vaults, it lives within your knowledge equity. History is a witness to generations of wealth being squandered because the heirs received ready-made money but lacked the education that built it. This is why the fourth and most critical habit is investing at least 15 to 20 minutes every single day into increasing your financial intelligence. Wealthy families don't discuss expensive toys at the dinner table. They discuss the difference between assets and liabilities. They teach their children that money isn't created by sweat, but by systems. This habit strengthens your family's collective financial IQ to such an extent that even if everything were taken away tomorrow, the next generation would have the power to rebuild the empire from zero. Knowledge is the only investment where the ROI constantly increases. The anti-consumerism filter. Modern society is a massive marketing machine designed to keep you buying stuff and trapped in a cycle of endless debt. Advertisements constantly try to convince you that your worth is determined by your shoes or the car you drive. But empire builders move through this noise wearing an anti-consumerism filter. Their fifth habit is the 48-hour rule. Never make a major or non-essential purchase without waiting at least 2 full days. When you spend based on utility rather than impulse, you are invisibly securing the future of your next 7 generations. This habit turns self-control into a superpower that no advertising firm can break. You stop being a victim of the marketing world and become the master of your own will. Simplicity is the foundation upon which the Tower of Wealth is built. The delayed gratification. Most people spend their children's future freedom today just to enjoy a tiny, fleeting moment of pleasure. This is where the powerful habit of delayed gratification comes into play. A person is at their weakest when they spend money they can't afford on things they don't need just to prove their social status to the world. The sixth micro habit of investing is the willingness to happily sacrifice today's small, temporary desires for tomorrow's grand, permanent freedom. When you choose to put money into your wealth machine, instead of buying the latest shiny gadget, you aren't just saving dollars, you are forging a willpower as strong as steel. This mental toughness is exactly what keeps you stable during major economic crises and recessions where the rest of the world surrenders. Micro-diversification. Generational wealth never hangs by a single thin thread. The wealthy know that depending on one source of income is financial suicide. Micro diversification is the subtle habit of building multiple independent micro streams of income. This doesn't mean starting a massive corporation. It could be a small dividend income, a tiny digital asset, or an investment that generates a few dollars without your active labor. A person collapses when their only pillar of income falls, but an empire supported by 7 or 10 smaller pillars remains unshakable during the greatest economic tsunamis. This habit sends a signal of safety to your nervous system, allowing you to take the bold, calculated risks that eventually make history. The legacy of giving. Finally, we arrive at the habit that makes wealth immortal, the legacy of giving. Wealth that is clenched tightly in a fist eventually rots. Like water, money must stay in motion. The eighth and most sacred micro habit is dedicating a small but certain portion of your earnings to the upliftment of society and others. This habit teaches you that money is not just for consumption, it is a divine tool for creating change. When you give a portion of your wealth selflessly, it creates a psychology of abundance that permanently kills the fear of poverty and scarcity. You step out of the scarcity mindset and into a world of plenty. This is the generosity that makes the rich even richer because the law of the universe is simple. What you give with an open heart returns to you through 1,000 different paths. Please share and subscribe this channel.